Josh Hutcherson, thanks so much for being with us here to talk about your new action blockbuster, The Beekeeper. Is it safe to say there's a fair amount of buzz about this one?
Hey, lots of buzz. Lots of buzz. Yeah.
The only thing you know is he's a beekeeper.
A beekeeper? Well, that's not good.
An outrageously fun ride, especially your character. You know, trust fund, kind of cocaine-fueled tech bro. A little bit of a different role for you. What was it like to play this character?
Well, I mean, it's kind of just pulling from my real life, really. It's just sort of what I am. No, it's Derek's absolutely unhinged, and for me to get to step into somebody that's as wild and out of touch with reality as him was challenging in ways, but very freeing in many as well. And for David, our director, to kind of see the potential in me to play that kind of guy is something that I wouldn't have seen necessarily if I were him. But I'm really happy, and I loved getting to jump in and do something this wild.
Now, working with David, obviously, he's such an incredible director. He's got such an amazing portfolio of films under his belt. What was it like to be kind of in that process where he pulls everything together on set?
It's amazing. I mean, David he's a fantastic director, like on every level. His sense of blocking and technical abilities with the cameras and sort of how he sees it playing out physically, but then also just really doing the work with me to develop such a crazy character that, can, if you just approach him to play him as this wild guy, it doesn't have like the base of honesty and truth. And so we really spent time understanding what his insecurities are, what his upbringing's like, what his relationship with his family is like, and just really what makes him tick. And once we had that base, I felt very comfortable with David to, like, any direction he would give me, I would just go for it because I trusted the whole process.
That kind of style of character, that kind of tech bro villain, is becoming a bit more of a common trait in Hollywood. Is this kind of the rise of the tech bro supervillain in cinema?
It seems like it. It seems like it. Well, I think, we're at a point where obviously we're just seeing massive consequences and impacts of what technology can do, and people who have infinite money and access and power, what that can look like. And so I think that, it was destined to happen, and now is the era of the tech bro villain. It's fun. I like it.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the cast. It's a huge cast, and there's so many amazing people in here. Jason Statham, Jeremy Irons, Minnie Driver. There's so many great people. But I do want to talk a little bit about Jason Statham as an action star. Is he the best action star in the world going around at the moment?
I mean, I could get in trouble with some other people that I've worked with if I say he's the best. Like, The Rock might show up, Dwayne might show up and have something to say about it. But look, I think that one of the special things that Jason does as an action star is the stuff that he pulls off in movies as his characters are things that you wouldn't believe anyone else really getting away with in some kind of like nugget of realism. And I feel like in Beekeeper, you watch this guy come out of retirement and just rip heads and go crazy, and you kind of just believe that he can do it. It's not like a stretch in a way. So and he's just a movie star. He's got the face, the voice, the presence, and he's just a badass through and through.
In terms of the fight choreography, some of it is really intense, and like you got to be part of some of those really intricate scenes, particularly towards the end.
Yeah.
What was it like, kind of that blocking and that choreography for the fight scenes?
I mean, truthfully, I didn't have to do much as Derek. Derek was very much a puppeteer behind the scenes, but I was around a lot of that being choreographed and watching it happen and shooting sequences where I was not there, but I was on set seeing it happen. And the level of professionalism and the mixing of fight styles and weapons and all kinds of things, it's a big feat. And Jeremy, our second unit director and choreographer for the fights, he's an absolute badass. And he actually, I worked with him on Hunger Games. He was one of the stunt guys who was like one of your everyday stunt guys on set in the first Hunger Games with us. And now he's like second unit directing and the fight choreographer for the Beekeeper. It's very cool.
Excellent. Well, Josh, that's all I've got time for, but thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate chatting with you, and congrats on the movie. It is absolutely an amazingly fun ride.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, man. Have a good one.
You too.
We have to kill him before he kills his way to the top.
Honey?
It's flammable as fuck. Who knew?
You're going to get it once.